Good morning, Greg from Plus One Productions. I'm going to introduce you in a minute to our new, slightly crusty 280 CE. I've had this for a bit over a week now, and we've just been going through some of the crud and trying to work out what needs to be done and what parts need to be bought, etc. Like, share and subscribe if you like what you see. Leave comments down below. Try and make them nice. So this is a car that I've got, which is quite an original car, 78 280 CE, right-hand drive. It's got some issues, but then again, I got it for a reasonable price, reflecting the issues. Now, one of the first things that I had found was that you go through all of your, let's open up the bonnet. And it's got these little clips here for extending the reach of the bonnet. All right. Partially open first, and then it's onto the driver's side, which is the right hand side over here. Excuse me. Just had to push the bonnet down to get that clip as well released. And then the bonnet goes up a little bit, not as much as on the SL. There you go. There's the engine. It's looking so much better now that I've cleaned it. It was completely caked in crud. Some of the interesting features on this car, it's got SLS. I've never used this self-leveling suspension system there. I don't even know what that thing is yet. There's the brakes over there. There's some sort of I think this is the AC pump, but there's belts not connected, so who knows what's going on. There's some sort of a vacuum relay down here, and some of the cables weren't connected, so I don't know what's going on. There's the fuel head, the mechanical fuel injection just there. That's the fuel head. I've just covered it over so dust doesn't get in. And that's my distributor down there with the distributor cabinet in place. As I said, it's looking much better. It's got a few bits of rust in the engine bay, and I've taken out the vents here because he had full of leaves and crap. So anyway, that's all that. Now, I was trying to find the engine number because I need a new cap for the distributor because it was just roasted, and new leads, of course, but the rotor is quite specific to the engine type, so I needed the engine number. Now, I was told in a lot of the books to look at the rear here. As you can see, what can you see down there? Like, zilch nothing. It's in between cylinders 5 and 6. So I searched and searched and searched, and finally I came upon where it was. So this is where the distributor is here. This is the front of the engine, of course. This is on the left hand side, which is passenger side here, which would be the driver's side in North America. And right down in here, let me shine some light on it. You can see down there on the flat of the block is my engine number stamped. So I had to get it through. So it's quite hidden, and especially when it's covered in crap, it's even more hidden. So there you go. If you wanted to find the engine number, that's what you do. What I've done so far with this car is I've quite literally just cleaned up the block a bit, cleaned up the engine bay. I've replaced spark plugs. I've got some engine clean before I change the oil over. I've got extra oil so that I can do a complete flush. And I've never dealt with an SLS. I didn't know it had SLS before. I've taken out the battery tray because normally you've got lots of rust in and around the battery tray. It's not too bad, but there is some rust into that corner and some rust into this corner. So it's where the car's been parked to the side and all the crap's collected on that side where I've got issues with surface rust, so they all have to be dealt with. Overall she's kind of okay. There's a bit of a problem down there with the front scuttle where there's been some sort of a ding, and he's just replaced it with some bent sheet metal. It's like an old piece of gutter or something that he's just sort of tacked on. As you can see there, it's pretty nasty. And that grill underneath is also broken and damaged. You can buy those bits, which is good because they're rotten. And that scuttle panel is quite literally about 18 pounds, so that's, by the time it gets here it's going to be 60, 70 Australian dollars. Not a huge effort. Yeah, so more to come on this one in the future. I'm still getting my head around it, but you know, don't be afraid. Just a lot of people get scared with old cars and say, well, I don't know what to do. You work it out, and things like this help you. So, engine number down there, most important. All right, thanks for your time. I'll speak to you soon.